Hi, my name is Pop. I'm making a video that shows some spreadsheet basics. In fact, the most basic thing you can possibly do with a spreadsheet, and that's add stuff up. If you have got no familiarity at all with a spreadsheet, this video is a good starting point. Most people would be using Microsoft Excel either on a Windows PC or a Macintosh. I am on this video using LibreOffice Calc, which is also a spreadsheet. There are many different kinds of spreadsheets out there, and they're all pretty much the same, so don't let that bother you. Spreadsheets are divided up into rows and columns. Columns are things that go up and down. The first column here is named A. You can think of a column as the thing holding up the veranda, the porch on a house. A column goes up and down. A row goes across. And each cell is named column first, row second. So this cell is A1. This cell is B1, B2, B3, C4, and so on. You can add stuff up going down in a column. You can also add stuff up going across in a row. In fact, using a spreadsheet, you can be completely free-form and do things that make no sense at all. You can add cell A1 to cell B2 to cell C3. You could go diagonal, you could skip, you could do anything you want. But it makes more sense to go up and down in a column. I'm going to add up some numbers here. 1 I'll put in A1, and 2 and 3 and 4. We can add those up in our head. 7, 8, 9, and 10. The answer is going to be 10. I'm going to show you a couple ways how to do it. First of all, when you add things up, you're going to be not just typing into the cell, but you're going to tell the computer that you want it to do some work for you. And you do that by starting out with putting in an equal sign. The equal sign tells the computer, do something. Okay, I want it to add up A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4. And then when I hit enter, it computes. And the answer is 10. And if I go back up into the cell A5, you can read the formula that I put in up here, A1 plus A2, A3, and A4. There's another way to do this. I'll just type in some different numbers in column B. 2, 4, 6, and just for the heck of it, I'm going to skip B4, and we're going to add up column B, and the answer, of course, is going to be 12. This time I'm going to tell it how to add up column B in a different manner. I'm also going to put in equals, but this time I'm going to tell it a function, and the function is sum. The word sum, when I type it in, tells me to enclose some stuff in parentheses. I think you can see in the black box that there is a left and a right parentheses. So I'll start off with the left one, and I'm going to put in B1, and now I'll put in a colon, and the colon is syntax that says everything from B1 up until B4, and then close parentheses. And then when I hit enter, I should get 12. If you go up to this input line here, you will see what I typed in. Equal sum, that's a function, and then the stuff in the parentheses is a range that's in between two cells. The first cell is B1, colon, and then the last cell is B4. And it acts upon this because I put in the word sum. There's still yet another way to do this. I'm going to go up and just tap this built-in quick function. First I'll put in some numbers. 1, 3, 5, and that's going to be 9. The answer will be 9. All you have to do is tap on this. When you tap on it once, oops, you know what it did? It assumed, since there is nothing right up here in C4, it assumed incorrectly that I want to add up the row. It's very smart. I'm going to escape, and I'll put something in C4. Let's see, what have we got? 8, 9. I'll put in a 1. And now, when I do this again, it assumes column rather than row. I tapped it once, and it says, show me the sum of C1 through C4. When I hit enter, it'll compute. And there's the answer, 10. The program is very smart. It has a built-in intelligence. It makes the assumption after you tap on the sum symbol that you want to add something up. And it says, let's see, where does he want to add up stuff? And I was right here. And it didn't find anything in the columns up here because C4 was blank. I just had stuff in C1, C2, and C3. So it said, he wants to add something up. Let's see, there's something in a contiguous cell. It's in B5, and there's something in A5. So he must want to add up A5 and B5. But then, when I put something up here in C4, the program's intelligence said, oh, he wants to do a column. So now it's adding this up. Now you can look at the formula. It uses the colon. And here, this formula uses a colon. And this uses the plus sign because I don't have the term sum in there. I just said equal A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4. There's still yet another way of doing this, and it uses a comma, the plus sign, the comma, or what's in parentheses. So let's put in 1, 1, 1, 1, and I'm going to add this up. And let's go equal sum parentheses D1, D2, D3, D4, close parentheses, and it adds it up. Do you see the different grammar, the different syntax? It may be confusing to you because it is so very, very free form. It is not altogether so specific that it stumbles. Here you've got 4 entities separated by commas in parentheses, and it acts upon them with the function word sum. Here the colon says use the entire range. Same thing. Here, there is no word sum. What about if I just put in A1, comma, A2, comma, A3, comma, A4? Well, it's not telling it to do anything. The comma in this instance is meaningless, because if I were to do that, it would say equal A1, comma, A2, comma, A3, comma, A4. But do what with it? The plus sign tells it to add the things up. And here the word sum, and here the word sum, and here the word sum tells it to add stuff up. I'll try it just to show you. 2, 2, 2, 2 equal E1, comma, E2, comma, E3, comma, E4, enter. It gives me an error. And it should, because there is no logic in there that tells you to do anything with it. It's just a string of things with an equal sign. Whereas here, it says add all those things up that are in between the two parentheses separated by commas. Here it says add those things up between the parentheses, which shows an entire range, the colon separating the range. The first entity, C1, being the beginning of the range, and C4 being the last entity in the range. Now, before leaving sum, I want to show a variation of this. In the column A, I've got numbers ranging from the smallest being a 1 to 4 being the largest. What's the average number? Well, that would be easy enough. You add them all up, you get 10. Divide 10 by 4, and that would be your average. What's the biggest number? Well, the biggest number is 4, and the smallest number is 1. Sometimes, rather than adding things up, getting the sum of those things, instead what you want to get is the smallest number, the minimum. The function here would be min, M-I-N, or the largest number, and the function is the maximum, M-A-X, max, or the average, and then you just write out the word average. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to change the word sum to the word average, and the average here is 4. Because when I add them all up and divide by 3, I get 4. The largest number is going to be 6. If I type in max, it shows 6. If I want the smallest number, that's 2. We could do the same thing here. What's the average of all of this? .5. It's not an even number in this case. The smallest one's going to be 1, and the largest one's going to be 5. That's minimum. Maximum. Sometimes I make a mistake, and instead of writing the word average out completely, I put in AVG. Some spreadsheets may take AVG. This particular one does not. You have to have the correct syntax in. Well, I wanted to show an introduction to spreadsheets and what you can do with them, and this is one of the most basic things you can do with a spreadsheet.